Mason Gilbert, and this is my mom, Kirsten Gilbert, for the 9/11 interview.
Hello, sir.
So, what do you remember from the day that it happened?
Uh, I had just went back to work. I had only been at work for about a week. I had just come off 3 months maternity leave with your sister. I was 26, and it was really early in the morning, so there wasn't really a lot of activity going on. It was only 8:30, and all the TVs were on at work, so we actually saw it happen, but we weren't really aware of what was going on. So the whole day was spent. Um, I worked at a restaurant as a manager, so the whole day was spent, since it was unsure and nobody knew really what was happening, that we really tried to just keep kind of a low key tone with the guests. Tried not to be saying have a good day because everyone was kind of in shock and nobody knew what was going on. Um, and then the whole next day and the next couple weeks, it was just in shock as you learned the details of what was going on, and starting to hear like the voice recordings of people that were able to call their families. That's about it. What else?
What do you remember happening at work after that, like security and stuff? Or like anything?
Um, I think everybody was just really in shock. Nobody really, it's very distracting. Nobody really knew what was occurring since it was uncharted territory in America. That wasn't, we'd never been attacked on our own soil. For me, it was just really scary because we just had a baby. She was only 3 months old. So I don't know what else. That's what it was just.
What do you remember about like the next time you went to travel by plane?
Uh, Everything took a lot more time. Even once you guys were bigger, even years after. So the first time you flew, you were 8, I think. So that would have been 2013. So it was 12 years after 9/11, and it was like just really stressful to get through the airport and to get you guys through the airport. It was kind of like high alert, and just, I know that it wasn't scary, but it seemed like it was scary for you. Like I felt like I had to really prep you before we went to the airport.
What do you think like affects still happening today because of it? Like,
I think people have a lot of hatred towards unknown people, and you can't live in fear, and you can't live with preconceived ideas because one person decided to do something against someone. You can't have that conceived preconceived idea against a whole subset of people. Um, I think it really created a lot of shock for people that how dare you attack us on our soil. But for me, I think it's an eye opener. Like we do that to other countries all the time, and so when people act like it's just perfectly fine to go into other people's countries and do whatever, we would never put up with that here, which is evident obviously by 9/11 about the shock and the change on how quickly you handle situations. Uh, I think people forget sometimes too. Like, these things do happen, and uh, we're not above it just because we're in America. So you need to stay aware of what's going on around the world, in the country, and stop the spread of hatred. So that's about it. So I'm sure even when I'm 80, I'll be able to tell you that I was at work at 8:30 in the morning, going across the whole front of the restaurant, taking drawers out to bartenders.
Do you think even that far in the future we'll still be feeling the effects of these terrorist acts?
I think everyone will always feel them because there's always going to be hatred in other parts of the world, and that's why you have to try to live to be a better person and spread that to your kids in order to spread that across future generations. The more hatred people spread, the more these things are going to keep occurring.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing for 9/11 presentation, and thank you for listening.